The Yankees and the Orioles rivalry is brewing into potentially being kind of dangerous, not gonna lie. Yesterday's game was wild. Steven Kwan is a power hitter now, which is crazy to say considering he's now hitting 400. As I'm recording this intro, he doubled. He's hitting 400 on the season. Ohtani is not hitting 400, but this dude could actually straight up win MVP without pitching or playing any defense. And this Jarren Duran kid for the Boston Red Sox, he's on pace to make some history. We're gonna talk about all of that and more in today's MLB Recap. And just a reminder, Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you have not downloaded Underdog Fantasy, be sure to use my code Fuzzy when you do, because they'll give you a free pick'em and a $250 bonus cash credit. If you're a new user and use code Fuzzy, you get that. Before we talk about the Dodgers game, I do want to talk about this Cardinals at Marlins game, because Kyle Gibson, he was scratched with back tightness, and on the first pitch of the game, this happened. Emergency starter Matthew Liberatore, he gave up a first pitch home run to Brian De La Cruz, and then Jesus Sanchez, he made it back-to-back home runs. De La Cruz has 13 doubles and 12 home runs. By the way, he just can't really seem to take walks. Nolan Gorman, this dude is a man. Make it 15 home runs on the season. And check out the other Nolan. He steals second base, which means that this is now an RBI single for Brendan Donovan instead of a first to third situation. The game's tied at 3. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of chuckled at this catch. This is what a -4 outs above average outfielder looks like. Alec Burleson, he's just happy he caught it. So that's a go-ahead sac fly. And St. Louis, they were given the lead right back after Jake Berger botched a play at the hot corner, and this really sucks. Arenado, he took 95 to the elbow. He's done for the day, and now the Cardinals are done. Otto Lopez, he walks it off. What was that in right field? Alec Burleson, he bobbled the ball and then dropped it, and then he lost the grip trying to make a throw. He's got to really work on the defense over the offseason, because the offense is finally coming around, but that defense, whew, it's borderline Kyle Schwarber-like. All right, here we go, the Dodgers game, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, I've been waiting a while to see Michael Toglia of the Rockies break out, and I'm just praying that this latest call-up is the one that truly fixes him. That is a 3-run, 430-foot moonshot, but the Dodgers didn't really seem to care much, and they wanted to make sure that Walker Buehler felt supported. Ohtani, he ripped a base-clearing double. He's 1 RBI away from joining the 50 RBI club. Freddie Freeman, this dude is going to hit until he's a grandfather. He's having a down year with a 298 batting average, but he still has an almost 160 OPS plus because his on-base skills are ridiculous. Toglia, this is why he's so exciting. He can be a Gold Glove first baseman who can hit 4 or 5 triples and steal 15-20 bags. Like, the dude is just an athlete, and now it's tied again. Sam Bouchard, he grounded out to plate Toglia. Jason Hayward, he might sign with the Rockies after his Dodgers deal is done, because that's another multi-RBI extra base hit. He had that grand slam in game number 2 of the series. That's a 2-run double right there. Kevin Biggio, buddy, you can't be doing that. You just joined the team. Dodgers fans are not going to like you. A run would have scored anyways, but Colorado, they're given a free out, and here's a second free out. Andy Pages, he kind of slowed up for a moment, and that caused them to miss the catch by a centimeter or 2. Montero, he got to third base and then scored on a Brenton Doyle sac fly. So it's 6-6, and Brenton Doyle, he can actually win it if he has another sac fly. Pages, he has a rocket arm, but maybe 3 or 4 guys in the history of baseball can make that play. The Rockies, they walk it off. From a couple walk-off, 1-run victories to the absolute opposite of that, Cleveland and the Braves, they embarrassed the teams that they were facing. Josh Naylor has been pretty bad in terms of batting average over the last month, but he still has 50 RBIs on the season after that single. And Steven, he is the chosen Kwan. Steven Kwan has 5 home runs. He has a .554 slugging, which is 150 points higher than his previous career best. Nearly everyone on Cleveland put on muscle over the offseason. Body composition was an actual goal. I'm not lying. Tanner Bybee, he was flexing his stuff on the bump. He got Cal Raleigh to chase for his 9th strikeout through 4 frames, and this is strikeout number 11, and not only does it end his night, but JP Crawford's night as well. JP, he was not happy from the jump. Scott Service, he's done as well. Bybee has 23 strikeouts over his last 11 innings, which is insane. Cleveland then beat 2 separate throws on 1 play. J-Ram, he beat it out at first base, and Andres, he flew home to score. He beats out the throw. Bo, he wanted to be like his big bro and driving a run. But speaking of his big bro, Josh, he hit the strut again. Josh Naylor has 19 home runs, 54 RBIs. The Guardians, they wrapped up their 8th shutout of the year on a 102-mile-per-hour cutter from Emmanuel Clase. Thank you. I needed that for my happiness because the Acolyte has been bad, MLB The Show 24 has been bad, and the Guardians were slipping as of late. I needed this for my sanity. The Atlanta Braves basically did the exact same thing to the poor Tigers, which is crazy because the Braves, they were taking on Tarek Skubal, one of the best pitchers, not just in the AL, but in all of Major League Baseball. He was saved, talking about Tarek, momentarily by a sick play from McKinstry and Ibanez. Ibanez with the scoop at first base. Ozzie, he got to Skubal later with an RBI single, and Sean Murphy, goodbye. That is a 2-run home run, his first of 2 on the day. We got to wait to show his second because is that Ramon Laureano? I did not know that the Braves picked him up, but there he is going 430 feet. He was 0 for 10 versus Skubal coming into this game. Now he's 2 for 2 in this game alone. Chaos ensues. Ozzie, he stole third base, and Skubal, he just missed the throw. You can't afford to make those mistakes when Ronaldo Lopez is on the bump. He tossed 5 more scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts. He does not go more than 5 or 6 innings, but man, you cannot be upset with a 1.57 ERA. Sean Murphy, there it is, number 2. Atlanta, they win big. The Tigers have lost 4 games in a row, and Torkelson, he's not going to come back anytime soon because he's hitting .260 with 1 home run in 13 AAA games. Is he a bust? Let me know in the comments. I think we're about to make some MLB Recap history with this next game. This is one of the most dense games I've ever had to script, and it took forever just to script this one game. Garrett Cole was back on the bump, and that's not a great start. Gunnar Henderson, he lasered one down the line for a double. There's another loud swing. Ryan O'Hearn, he doubled to left field, so in scores Mr. Henderson. Now Garrett did calm down after that. Glaber, he even tied it on a sac fly. Cole, he was flinging that thing in the 3rd inning. He gets Mateo on the cutter. Adley, he's caught looking on the off speed, and Mountcastle, he chased the slider, so Garrett, he strikes out the side. Boone, he wanted to take him out after the 4th, but Garrett said, no, I want one more. He wanted one more inning, but they only gave him one more hitter. Cedric Mullins ends his night with a flared single. Garrett's taken out for Ron Marinaccio and Ramon Urias. He walloped a 2-run home run. Garrett, he's shaking his head in the dugout. He's probably thinking, I could have gone 5 innings. O'Hearn, he doubled again. He makes it 4-1 after 5. He just casually has a 158 OPS plus. Now, here's where things get a little bit spicy because 24 hours after Aaron Judge got hit on the hands, Gunnar, he was drilled by a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. I don't know if that was on purpose, but if it was, it kind of came back to bite them. Soto, he was charged with an error right there, so it's 5-1 Baltimore. Well, it was 5-1. Stanton with a Stantonian blast, a 440-foot 3-run Predator missile. He has 18 home runs. That made it 5-4, and another Baltimore player got hit. By the way, just as a fun fact from Fuzzy, the Orioles and the Yankees have played 6 times. 7 Orioles players have been hit. Only 3 Yankees have been hit. So just throwing that out there. Anthony Santander, he put a charge into this one. 3 are going to... Wait. Whoa, Verdugo ran it down. He put his body on the line. That is a sick catch. That allowed Stanton to tie it with a 120-mile-per-hour single off of Craig Kimbrell. That Gunnar hit by pitch really cost him because that would have been a walk-off single, and it also cost them the win because at this point, I'm just stirring the pot. There's plenty of other reasons why the Yankees lost, but Jose Trevino's noodle arm kind of factored in. Mullins, he blooped one for the lead, and then Trevino, he made a bad throw, which gave Baltimore a huge 7th run. Ben Rice, the rookie, he was robbed by a diving Santander, but Glaber, he scores on the sac fly. Oswaldo, he got on and then tried to steal second base, and it looked like blocking, but maybe the throw took Mateo there. I don't know. The blocking rules are super confusing. Adley, he's got a rifle, though. He kind of shows it off in front of Trevino, which is kind of mean. Jahmai Jones, he watched a slider float in for the final out, and these two teams, if they match up in the ALCS, it would be absolute cinema. From one New York team who kept on battling to another New York team who was battling, the Rangers and the Mets, they both did not want to fall even further in the standings. Wyatt Langford, he was hit with the bases loaded for a free RBI. Starlin Marte, he made it for his first at-bat where he struck out. He ties it with a double. 2 innings later, Pete Alonso, he gave the Mets a lead with a 2-run screamer. He's been a machine the last month. Over his last 38 games, Pete Alonso is basically hitting .280 with 22 extra base hits and 26 RBIs. Minaya, he really settled in after the Langford bases loaded hit by pitch, but the 6 gave him some trouble. Robbie Grossman singled, and then Josh Smith, he placed a perfect double. Grossman, he unhooked the trailer. He scores all the way from first base. Wyatt, there's a second RBI. The rookie has been pretty good in June. He has a .290 batting average with 11 RBIs and 6 stolen bases. Being top 4% in sprint speed while being 230 pounds, I mean, he won the genetic lottery. You should not be able to do that. Leote, I see you, bro. He stole the show. His 2-run home run gave Kirby Yates the lead. lead. That's all that he needed. Yates goes 1, 2, 3. He has a 1 ERA, 11 saves. He's been very, very good. The Rangers, they do in fact snap the Mets' 7-game win streak. So with that Mets loss, the Red Sox, they now own the best win streak in baseball. David Hamilton, he's not going anywhere even when Trevor Story comes back. They're going to have to figure it out because he's figuring it out. Boston, they went up 2 on a vicious swing from Emmanuel Valdez. Check out his June stats. He's hitting .341 with 10 extra base hits and 14 RBIs in 12 starts. The Blue Jays, they used a bunch of small ball to tie it. You have Addison Barger with a single. They deploy a hit and run. So Barger, he gets to third base on the IKF single to right field. Kevin Kiermaier made it a 2-1 ball game. He hit it hard, and JT did not hit that one hard. He hits it right to David Hamilton at shortstop, but hey, a run is a run. And is that Vladdy? Vladdy's got a brand new look. He smoked the ball. He cut his hair because he feels like he's been slumping, so he wanted to change it up. He looks at the baseball gods like, what else do I have to do? I hit that ball on the screws. Jarren Duran, he reminded Vladdy that, hey, maybe you should lift the ball. That's probably the best thing to do. He went 433 feet. He has 19 stolen bases and 6 outs above average to go along with his 6 home runs. Romy Gonzalez, there you go. That's a little RBI single. Duran, he wanted another RBI. He's hitting .296 with 29 extra base hits, 23 RBIs, and 11 stolen bases over his last 48 games. Dom Smith, look at him. He's hitting .311 with a mind-melting .436 on base since the last day of May. Boston, they've won 5 games in a row. Look at them. The two-timer hit 2 home runs versus the Padres, but before we show Harper's 2 home runs, Jackson Merrill, he turned 21 years old a couple months ago. He went yard, and over his last 30-ish games, he's hitting .292 with 6 home runs and 5 stolen bases. Also, by the way, he was an infielder. He's playing the outfield. He has 3 outs above average at a brand new position. Bryce, there he is. He barreled up a sinker for an Apo Taco. Waldron, he ditched the knuckleball, and he paid for it on that swing. Waldron got the lead back way in the 7th inning. Luis Arraez, he singled in Jackson Merrill. Luis is hitting .335 as a Padre. San Diego, they wanted more. Bohm, he booted a ball with 2 outs, and Marsh, he missed a sliding grab, so that's going to clear the bases. Higashioka, he's credited with a 3-run triple. The crowd went dead silent, and they kind of got back into it after another no-doubter from the two-timer. Bryce has a 150 OPS plus since 2015. Just future Hall of Fame stuff. Robert Suarez, he bounced back. He kind of got the Phillies out of his head. He has 18 saves. The Padres, they end their 9-game road losing streak. And before we move on, Matt Waldron, he carved the Phillies. Ranger Suarez was very good as well. He has a 1.64 ERA, but Waldron, he throws a knuckleball, so he's going to get the shine. 6 strikeouts over 7 innings. Waldron has a 1.8 ERA over his last 50 innings. Man, what is going on with Kansas City? I guess it's good to get your woes out the way in the first half and not in the second half or the playoffs. Miguel Andujar and Brent Rooker made it 2-zip on back-to-back RBI singles. Bobby Witt Jr., he grabbed one of those runs back on a double. He's hitting .323 with 20 doubles, 7 triples, 11 home runs, 52 RBIs, 21 stolen bases, 11 outs above average. He is the best 5-tool player that we've seen since Mike Trout or Barry Bonds. Talking about Pirates Barry Bonds, when he was a 40-40 guy with insane defense. 1 run was all that Luis Medina gave up, and credit to him, he was good. The offense, they tacked on a few more. Andujar had 3 base hits, and Brent, he went back to the third base and shortstop gap for a second RBI single. Tyler Nevin, okay, can we get the RBI singles out the way? Make way, make way. Zach Geloff almost went to the second deck in center. He went 435 feet. He has 28 doubles, 21 home runs, 22 stolen bases over his first 124 big league games. That's very impressive. The Astros were spamming left field in the 3rd inning versus Garrett Crochet. Caratini, he singled right before Chaz. He doubled him over to third base. Not sure why Caratini just sprinted home. He was a sitting duck at home, but I mean, whatever. Also, Chaz McCormick did not get to third base on the throw, but Altuve, he made it for it. He set up a bases loaded opportunity, and Dubon, he beat out a double play to bring home the game's first run. Cesar Salazar sounds like the guy from Harry Potter. I didn't know that he existed either, but he got jammed and it worked out. That's an RBI bloop the other way. Benny Biceps, I don't even know if we can call him that anymore. Andrew Benintendi, he is basically an afterthought, and he probably should be, considering he's making $17 million to provide a negative 1.7 WAR. Wait, is that Cesar Salazar again? He had 3 base hits. There's another RBI, and after Jake Myers doubled in the 8th inning, Caesar, he dropped a bunt. He's probably your grandpa's new favorite player. Chaz, his sac fly brought home the game's final run, and the former Astro Corey Lee, he lifted a can of corn to give Josh Hader his 10th save. Hunter Brown, by the way, a shout out to him. He had 6 strikeouts, just 1 run over 6 innings, just a home run to Benny. Christmas came early for me because my team, the Guardians, won by 8 in shutout fashion. The Royals already lost, and the Twins, did they lose? Joe Ryan, he's on the mound, and Austin Martin is making MLB The Show CPU level web gems, so it's probably not going to happen. Izak, he pulled another home run. Izak Paredes has 11 home runs on the year, all to left field. He has 64 home runs in his career. Again, all of them have been pulled. Minnesota, they did tie it on a double play, and then they turned an incredible double play on their own moments later. Correa with the hose piece. Joe Ryan, he's pretty impressed. What is Royce Lewis doing? It's comical at this point. He's putting up road to the show numbers. Royce Lewis got on base 4 times in this one. He has 8 home runs and 50 at-bats this year. He has 25 home runs and a 170 OPS plus in his first 84 big league games. He hit it so hard that he broke the scoreboard in left field. The Twins, they had the lead for a bit. When Yandy Diaz, he took over, he tied it on a record-breaking 127 mile per hour single to... I'm joking, by the way. And then in the 8th inning, he jolted an actual line drive, but Austin Martin, he made another nice grab. So to extras we go. Minnesota, they are perfect. I think they're 3-0 in extra inning games, but it's not going to stay that way. Royce, he showed that he is in fact human. He rushed the throw. Santana, he could not dig it out. Correa, he popped up to end things. The Tampa Bay Rays, they barely win. 3-2 over the Minnesota Twins. The Cubs were very nice, and they honored Willie Mays with another moment of silence, but yet again, the Cubs did not read the room. Ian Happ, he went off the batter's eye in dead center. Dansby Swanson then did what any Cubs player should do. He hit it up in the air and let the wind take care of the rest. That's another home run for him. Kyle Hendricks, he did what? I didn't even know that he was back in the starting rotation. He went 5 no-hit frames. Again, I didn't even know that he was taken out of the bullpen and put back into the rotation. Dansby, he made it a big 3 RBI game after he flared one to center, and then he played a role in their 5th run. Swanson, he's put in motion. He's now in a rundown, and the Giants, they dropped the ball. So Chicago, they get a massive 6th run, and you want to know why it's massive? Because this massive home run would have tied it. Jorge Soler, he flipped the bat to another zip code. He hits a grand slam. That was a really fun ending, but the Cubs, they still take the W. Come on, man. Not when Willie Mays moves on. Stop doing that. These next 2 games were pretty easy. I think 3 runs were scored total between 2 different games. Freddie Peralta, he was given the early lead after Hoskins earned a sac fly. They call Peralta Fastball Freddy, and you can see why. 94 with the movement upstairs. That changeup is gross as well. He got 2 strikeouts on 2 different changeups, and then I don't know what that fastball is. The fastball upstairs is at a sinker because it's only 94 miles an hour with movement, but the 96 seems to be a little bit straighter, so is it a 4-seam? Either way, he had 8 punchies over 6 scoreless. He picks up the W after Adames got sawed off, but that's an RBI. Trevor McGill might be the most underrated relief pitcher in baseball. He got the final 3 outs on 7 pitches. He has 15 saves and a 2 ERA. He's insane. Nearly an identical game, just like Tyler Anderson of the Halos got a tough L versus the Brewers. Mitch Keller of the Pirates suffered the same fate versus the Reds. He went 7 shutout with 7 strikeouts, only 2 base hits allowed. Hunter Green, he was just as good though. He struck out 9 over 6 in the 3rd. Just a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Rowdy, he pimped I thought it was a home run. Stewart almost made an insane play. Rowdy was jogging, so he only gets the second base. But luckily for Hunter Green, Fernando Cruz, he came in and he stranded the runners. The score is still 0-0. Brian Reynolds, he's going to get one more at-bat to extend his 16-game hit streak to 17 games. And he extends it, and he wins it. David Bednar, he's going to come in and lock down his 16th save of the year. The Pirates, they take the series versus what was a red-hot Reds coming into the series. That last sentence felt very redundant. Anyways, the Nationals and the Diamondbacks are facing off, and the Diamondbacks, they came into this game pretty red-hot, and this was one of the crazier plays I've seen this year. Suarez hit a missile with the bases loaded. Nazem Nunez got a glove on it, and runners had to sprint to the next bag. Nunez, he got the throw home. That was a wild play. They get the out. Patrick Corbin, he did allow 1 on a bases loaded walk. I'm not going to show that because he usually stinks. Marte usually owns lefties, and this doesn't happen very often. Ketel Marte, he slammed his bat because he just struck out 3 times in a row versus Patrick Corbin, one of the worst pitchers in baseball, and he's a lefty. It just doesn't make sense. Jesse Winker, he's one of those guys when he knows, he knows. As soon as he made contact, he just watched it. He has 7 home runs and a 380 on base percentage. Ildemaro Vargas, he added an insurance run, which good thing that he did that because Jacob Young, he tried way too hard. He wanted to barehand a rolling Corbin Carroll grounder. He misses it. Corbin gets all the way to third base. Lourdes, he swung and missed. And Vargas, he ended the 8th inning with a 360 silent shot, no scope. I don't know why he was spinning, but that was kind of cool. Finnegan, he struck out 2 to notch his 21st save. He's a free agent in 2026. So in my opinion, Kyle Finnegan with the 1.7 ERA and a lot of strikeouts, you have to move on so you can try and get some pieces because he has been good in the past, but this is his breakout year. Capitalize on it. Well, everyone, that does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, subscribe because those both really help out the channel and grow the game of baseball in the process. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the web gems.
Chop back to Mark. Barehanded, goes down on the seat of his pants. He throws it over there.
Good.
Yeah.
Line. Oh, speared by Rowdy Tellez. Willie Mays-like.
How about that?
Line drive. Caught by a diving Bryson.
Royce. Nice play by Volpe. First. Got him.
There's a fly ball hit well to the right field corner. It is hooking as it moves toward the foul line. And Pilar.
Who cares if we strike out? They're living up to that mentality.
MJ Melendez. Fastball hit in the air, right center field. Long run. And Kiermaier